Doing 2 mountain races in one weekend is always going to batter the legs, so join me as I show you exactly what I do on a recovery day to make the legs come round as fast as possible. Alright, so good morning. It is currently Wednesday. It is the Wednesday after the Fletter Trail weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed the video from the weekend. And since then I have done not much. It is all just about recovery. After a weekend like that, the legs do take a bit of time just to get back to 100%. It is quite an intense weekend, so I try and do everything I can just to look after the legs and make sure the recovery is as good as possible. So on Monday I had a rest day. Yesterday I did a quick check of the legs and did an hour on the uphill treadmill and they felt really good. So today is the first day back into a routine. I've got 2 sessions I'm going to take you through. I've got an easy hour on the trails this morning, followed by strength and gym work this afternoon. So this morning I walked the dog and then I had my classic breakfast, as you would have seen: porridge, banana, peanut butter with a bit of honey. And then I've just made a V60 coffee now. So I'm gonna have this coffee and then we'll get on our way to the train and head to Frodsham, which is just a small town outside of Liverpool with a few trails. But I'll take you along and we'll see what we end up doing. Hopefully the day is a good one and I'll check in with you on the way to the run.
Doors closing. Doors opening.
Right, I'm in a massive rush. Just heading to get the train now, over to Lime Street. And then, yeah, short trip over to Frodsham and we'll start the run. Nice easy one today. First one back, sort of outside, doing some descending and stuff. So we'll see how the legs respond, hopefully all right. But don't know how the leg's gonna feel, but we will find out. Right, let's get this done. Actually no, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy the run. So yeah, like you see, today I am doing a route. It's called the Sandstone Trail, or I'm doing part of it. It's actually a route that I have done in its entirety before. It's about 50k. Goes from Frodsham down to a place called Whitchurch, which is the hometown. But yeah, I did it in, or just after lockdown, as like a personal challenge. I just got into running, fell into the sort of ultra running world, and yeah, it was a nice local route that I sort of knew of anyway and thought, oh, that'd be a cool one to go and do. So it's probably a route that I'll try and do again at some point. Gonna do a little bit of it today. Perfect place to come and get some K's in. Oh, it's so nice on this trail. It's one of those ones that feels like it just shouldn't be where it is. And Liverpool in the distance. Alright, I am on top of Helmsby Hill, I want to say. Yeah, I am about 7k into the route. I've got about 7k back. It's not quite an out and back. I'm going to go back a slightly different way, but absolutely perfect trails. Super easy, through the forest, nice soft ground. Legs coming around well. Alright, I've just got back from the run, had a quick shower. The ankle feels not amazing, there's no swelling or anything, but it does just hurt when I move it in certain ways. Hopefully, when I get in the gym later, I can sort of just try and test it out a little bit and get a bit of strength back into it. But a couple of days, hopefully it should sort itself out. I've just made some lunch. I've made a mozzarella and tomato sandwich with some pesto and some olive oil and balsamic and a little salad, as you can see here. 2 sandwiches, mozzarella and tomato, and then some nice salad. So that is the lunch. I'm gonna have that now, chill out for a bit, and then yeah, I'll go to the gym later and I will update you as the day unfolds. Just me and Lola today. Alright, so the gym session today is very light, just getting everything firing after the big weekend. So I started with a nice little warm up here, straight into the first superset, which was this mid-stance iso push, followed by some push-ups. Don't hate on my form, and yeah, with the mid-stance iso push, you're just basically creating some resistance through the posterior chain and holding it isometrically. Then the next superset were these renegade rows and another ankle push. You can't see what's happening here, but essentially I create the resistance with the bands, and then I get on my sort of tiptoes and yeah, a bit of an isometric hold for the ankle, nice bit of stability, and again through the posterior chain. Apologies for the camera angles, and again superset that with the renegade rows. The next set were these hamstring heel bridges, fairly basic, just 4 sets of a few seconds on each side, and then into this anterior hip loading exercise, a new one for me, but definitely felt really good. And then the last superset were these oblique crunches, these Copenhagen's, which you can see that I really struggle with here, especially on the one side. And then I followed up with some core at the end, a nice addition always at the end of a session. And that was the end of the workout. Again, just getting everything firing after the weekend. Nice and light, but always good to get back into the gym and, like I say, get back into that routine. Alright, gym done, felt good. Ankle still doesn't feel too great after the run, to be honest, but didn't affect any of the movements. So just gonna have the protein shake now. Now I'm just gonna go to Lidl because it is my turn to cook. So I'm gonna make some Greek food. Yeah, I'll show you that as well. So it is now the next day. Unfortunately, the day did run away from me yesterday. I got back from the gym. It was my turn to cook. But yeah, the day just ran away and I didn't really get a chance to outro the video and sort of do a bit of a roundup. So I thought I'd take the chance today. It is the next day. And yeah, for those that are wondering, the ankle is okay. I did an hour easy today on the flat, on the road, and yeah, the ankle feels good, just a bit of restricted mobility. So with a bit of massage, hopefully that should come around in the next few days. Fingers crossed it does, because from tomorrow I head up to the Lake District and then on to Edinburgh for a few days. So back into the hills I'll definitely try and get some footage while I'm up there and get some videos together. So yeah, fingers crossed the ankle feels okay for that. But I thought I would just end out this video with looking forward to the future. I know I put these videos out sometimes and they probably just come out of nowhere. And it might be nice for you to know exactly what I'm sort of training for and yeah, where the motivation lies in the next year, in the next season. So currently we are sort of at least halfway through the mountain season, if anything, getting towards that latter end of it now. And for me, there are only a couple of races that hold any significance left in the season. So the first one of those is on the 23rd of August, and that is a race called Challenge Stellina, which is in Susa in Italy, just over the border in Italy, in the Italian Alps. And it is another uphill only race. It's not quite a VK, it's a lot longer and a lot more climbing, and it's classed as just an uphill only. I think it's about 14k with 1600 meters of climbing. So yeah, very long, very runnable. And this one is another Italian champs. This one is the Italian champs for the uphill only discipline, as opposed to Pistri at the weekend, which was the Italian champs for the VK. Slightly different disciplines. For me, the uphill only is much better, a lot more runnable. The gradient is a lot less. And yeah, a lot less intense for me, less walking involved. August is then pretty easy for me. There's a couple of things that I might try and do in the UK in and around that race. But apart from that, I think that'll be it. In September, on the first weekend, I've got another double-header weekend, and it is the next instalment for me in the World Cup circuit. If you recall, I did the one in Portugal at the start of the season in April. I did the Austria uphill only race, which was the second instalment for me. And then I did actually do the French stage, but it was a very, very bad week for me, and I actually ended up DNFing, and a video never came to fruition. I actually didn't try and film that weekend. It was quite a hectic week, and actually that did show in the performance, and I thought it was best to sort of call it quits, which is a bit of a shame as I'm really focusing on that circuit this year. But hopefully with Nazago in September, and then potentially one more, I can still get together a decent circuit. So yeah, that's the first weekend in September. It's the VK on the Saturday and then another trail race on the Sunday, very similar to the Fleta weekend. So again, looking forward to that one. Then we get to October and November, which is my favorite time of the year for racing. Very, very low stakes, very, very fun, and probably my favorite season with some crisp autumn days, some of the most beautiful valleys in Italy. I will be taking on the Chiavenna Vertical, so Chiavenna Lagunch, which is probably one of my favorite races. I'll then be looking to do some really, really fun races, but pretty low-key ones, like Valtellina Wine Trail that I did last year. And then there is also a very, very classic race, which really for me signifies the end of the mountain season, and that is Trofeo Vannoni. I've now done that for the past few years, and it is absolute classic. You go in teams of 3. Last year, I was lucky enough to go with the England team, and it was my first England vest. Not a great performance from me, but it's not a course that suits me too well, but I still absolutely love it, and I will definitely be going this year. And then the focus will shift onto the roads and onto the cross. Last winter, I had a very, very good winter on the roads, and it seemed to set me up very well for the spring of mountain running. But this year, we are going to try and keep some of that hill specificity in there. I really felt like this season it was a bit of a cold start, and the legs took a while to get to where they needed to be. So I'll be keeping in some of that hill work over the winter and just trying to make sure I'm keeping on top of all the different dynamics and different aspects of my running. But I'll definitely be looking to better some of my road times. So I'll be doing a 10k and a couple of half marathons in the hopes of getting at some better times. For reference, my PBs in the 10k and half are 31 minutes and 5 seconds and 69 minutes and something. I'll definitely be looking to better those, and I have got some goals in mind, but I will save them for a later video. I will be doing a 10k this side of the calendar year, and then I will be heading to Barcelona in February to do the Barcelona half marathon, and that will probably be the last one then of the road season before we restart with the trail season. I've got super ambitious goals for next year, and with the added dynamic of being able to video them all, it really does motivate me and makes me excited for what is to come. So I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you're sort of sticking along with me, and I hope that knowing some of the targets gives you a bit more reason to invest in the videos and see how I get on. I hope this video was useful, just a bit of an insight into those days after a pretty intense weekend. Thank you for all the love on the videos, I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.